Hey everybody, for those of you that know, the implementation of the QMSR has been going on now for about 3 years, or at least 2.5. The original draft was written 2.5 years ago, and there were several comments that were posted when they published the final draft in February of 2024. One of the comments, comment number 77, was that the commenters recommended that the FDA phase in the effective date of the QMSR. They suggested that the FDA either implement the effective date in phases or allow firms to comply with either the QS regulation, which is the QSR right now, requirements, or the requirements described in the QMSR rulemaking for a period of time. Another comment suggested the FDA use a risk-based approach to transition to the QMSR, taking into account the class of medical devices. So that's what they wanted to try to do as they were determining what the effective date was going to be. The initial recommendation by the FDA was 1 year. So as we've heard in other comments, it has become 2 years now, but this particular comment said, why don't we phase it in? FDA's response was, FDA disagrees that a phased in effective date is appropriate because having two inspectional programs in operation at the same time would be inefficient and would result in significant potential for confusion. We were there in FDA land in Washington, D.C. with the AAMI conference back in February of this year, and we asked these same questions to several of the FDA staff, and we asked, okay, so are there going to be rules on as of February 2nd of 2026? And then those rules are going to instantaneously change on February 3rd of 2026? And they said, yes, that's exactly how it's going to happen. So obviously, if you are starting transition, they are going to give a little grace during the next transition phase, especially if you're moving towards the QMSR at this point, because essentially throughout everything they've been talking about, they feel that the two documents are substantially equivalent. So there you go. This is Darren Reeves, DP Distribution and Consulting President, and we'll see you next time.